When was the last time you had a thought that was entirely your own? Not an opinion from a headline or a belief that matches your tribe's. I mean a genuine, slow-forming insight born of curiosity and quiet doubt. A thought that, for a moment, made the world feel clearer. If you have to reach far back to remember, you are not alone. We are living through a quiet famine, not of information, we are drowning in that, but a famine of understanding, of independent thought. We are witnessing the disappearance of critical thinking, and in its place, the rise of what some thinkers call collective stupidity. No, this is not an insult. It's a diagnosis. It describes what happens when intelligent people, overwhelmed and under-equipped, default to shallow thinking, emotional reaction, and intellectual conformity. It's the triumph of the fast mind in a world built for speed. This is an investigation, a warning, and hopefully a reawakening. We will trace how our technology, education, and psychology are engineered to discourage deep thought. We'll explore the neuroscience of our distracted brains, and we'll reclaim the tools to think for ourselves again. Because this is about sovereignty. The choice is stark: reclaim our minds or surrender them to a system that profits from our intellectual passivity. Let's begin. Philosopher Noam Chomsky gave us the framework of the manufacture of consent. He argued that power structures must engineer what people believe is true and possible. Today, this manufacture is democratized and digitized. It doesn't feel like propaganda. It feels like convenience. Our world does not reward contemplation. It rewards speed. A hot take goes viral. A nuanced article is ignored. It rewards certainty. Influencers and pundits speak with absolute conviction. Doubt is weakness. It rewards conformity. Algorithms shepherd us into echo chambers where our views are reinforced. To question the group is to risk exile. We are conditioned away from critical thought because it is inconvenient to these systems. It is slow, uncertain, nonconformist. It asks the dangerous question, but is this true? Asking that today is an act of rebellion, not against a state, but against the relentless stream of content and crisis. So how did we get here? Three interconnected systems are at play: technology, education, and psychology. First, the technology of overload. Neuroscientist Daniel Levitin states we now process 5 times more information daily than we did in the 1960s. Brains didn't evolve for this. Facing a data fire hose, our cognition shortcuts. It uses heuristics, mental rules of thumb. It seeks social proof. What are others believing? It defaults to biases that favor the familiar and emotional. This isn't laziness. It's a biological survival mechanism exploited at scale. Every notification, autoplay, and trending topic is engineered to keep you in a state of cognitive overwhelm, where thinking deeply is physiologically harder than simply accepting. Second, the education of obedience. We believe school teaches us how to think. Historically, its design was to teach what to think and how to obey. As the late educator John Taylor Gatto argued, the industrial-era system was built to produce reliable factory workers, punctual, compliant, and able to do things by rote. While the world changed, that core model often remains. We reward memorizing answers, not formulating profound questions. We standardize curricula, leaving little room for intellectual wandering. The subtle message is, your job is not to question the framework. Your job is to succeed within it. We train for tests, not for thought. Third, the psychology of comfort. Critical thinking is emotionally costly. It creates cognitive dissonance, the discomfort of holding conflicting ideas. It challenges our identity. In an age where beliefs are woven into our self-worth, questioning a belief can feel like personal annihilation. So we retreat. We seek the warm bath of confirmation bias. We join digital tribes, trading our intellectual freedom for ideological conformity. The psychologist Erich Fromm called this the escape from freedom. True intellectual freedom is terrifying. It carries the burden of responsibility and uncertainty. So often, we secretly surrender it. We trade the hard freedom of thought for the easy comfort of belonging. In this perfect storm of overwhelming technology, compliant education, and our own desire for comfort-critical thinking vanishes. Not with a bang, but with a whimper. 1,000 small surrenders. We skim summaries instead of reading books. We perform monologues instead of engaging in dialogue. We seek validation instead of truth. To understand our resistance, we need to go inside the brain. Nobel laureate Daniel Kahneman gave us the map: System 1 and System 2. System 1 is fast, instinctive, and emotional. It's what catches a ball, reacts to a sudden noise, and completes the phrase bread and it's automatic. System 2 is slow, deliberate, and logical. It's what calculates a tip, fills out a tax form, or learns a language. It requires focused energy. Our modern world is a System 1 paradise. A viral tweet triggers instant emotion. That's System 1. A 15-second video delivers a quick conclusion. System 1 again. A headline confirms your worldview. System 1. Engaging System 2. To pause, to analyze, to consider alternatives, feels like paddling upstream in a raging river. Our platforms are architected for this. They are Skinner boxes of variable rewards, keeping us in a reactive, emotional loop. The like button, the share count, they provide instant emotional feedback that bypasses our reason. This has a real physiological effect. Neuroscientist Marianne Wolf warns of the shallowing effect. Our brains are being rewired for scanning, skimming, and multitasking. The neural pathways for deep, sustained reading, the kind that fosters analytical thought, are weakening from disuse. Ask yourself, when did you last read a complex argument for 30 minutes without checking your phone? That struggle isn't a personal failing. It's a neurological shift. We are training our brains to be distracted. And in this state, we become prey to the most dangerous force, collective thinking. Collective stupidity is not the sum of individual ignorance. It's an emergent property of smart people in a dysfunctional system. The psychologist Irving Janis called it groupthink. In groupthink, the desire for harmony overrides rational appraisal. Doubts are suppressed. Dissent is seen as disloyalty. The group creates an echo chamber where assumptions are recycled, unchallenged. We see it in failing corporate boardrooms and political fiascos. Now we live it online daily. Our digital tribes are groupthink engines. They provide social validation and shield us from contradictory evidence. This creates a world where feeling right trumps being right, where viral is mistaken for valid. It's a cognitive tyranny of the majority. If millions of people believe something, the pressure to also believe, to silence that inner questioning voice, is immense. The most pernicious misinformation today isn't spread by fools. It's spread by intelligent, well-meaning people trapped in a collective logic loop. They've outsourced fact-checking to their community. They've replaced their internal critical faculty with a social one. The result is a society that is paradoxically more informed and less wise, armed with data, but devoid of discernment, able to argue endlessly, but unable to truly think. This is where we are, adrift in a sea of information, clinging to the life rafts of our tribes, having forgotten how to swim. But this is not the end. It is the reckoning. Reclaiming critical thinking is a daily discipline, a spiritual act of choosing truth over comfort. It begins with one decision: to re-engage your System 2. Here is your manual. First, cultivate intellectual humility. Socrates knew that he knew nothing. Start there. Adopt a beginner's mind. Acknowledge that your understanding of anything is incomplete. This isn't weakness. It's the foundation of strength. It opens curiosity and shuts down dogma. Second, practice metacognition. Think about your thinking. When you have a strong belief, pause. Ask yourself, what's my evidence? And where did it come from? What are the strongest arguments against my position? Do I believe this because it's true, or because it makes me feel safe and like I belong? This inner dialogue is your mental gym. Third, seek disequilibrium. Break your echo chamber. Actively follow thinkers you disagree with. Read challenging books, not to gather ammunition, but to truly understand. Engage in dialectic, the art of conversing, to uncover truth through opposing ideas. The goal isn't to win, but to see more. Fourth, reclaim deep attention. Fight for your focus. Read physical books. Start with 20 minutes a day, with your phone in another room. Practice single tasking. Do one thing fully. Introduce cognitive pauses. Before you share an article, pause for 60 seconds and summarize its core argument. Before reacting online, write the reply and then delete it. Writing engages System 2. Posting often engages only System 1. And fifth, redefine your identity. Decouple yourself from your opinions. You are not your politics. You are a conscious being in pursuit of truth. Be free to change your mind. Celebrate it. Saying, "I was wrong," is a powerful sign of growth. This is not passive self-help. This is resistance. You are fighting an architecture designed to capture your attention. You are becoming an intellectual sovereign. You will start to see the mechanisms everywhere. The emotional trigger in the headline, the logical fallacy in the rant, the social pressure to conform. In that seeing, you become free. You will no longer be a passive node in collective stupidity. You will be a beacon of discernment. Your quiet, clear thinking becomes a radical act. The hardest truth is this. This is not a technological failure. It is a moral one. The psychoanalyst Carl Jung said, "People will do anything to avoid facing their own souls." Critical thinking is the courage to face your own soul, your biases, your fears, your unexamined beliefs. It is the most demanding form of integrity. In a world on fire with outrage, your calm thought is water. In a world addicted to speed, your deliberate pause is rebellion. In a world of collective shouting, your independent question is a beacon. Our future depends not on more information, but on more people capable of thinking their way through it. We need fewer reactors, more thinkers. Fewer ideological soldiers, more scouts for truth. I leave you with a challenge. The next time you are triggered, outraged, or certain, stop. Engage the pause that the world tries to engineer out of you. Ask the inconvenient question. Embrace the uncomfortable doubt. Think, not because it is easy, but because it is essential. In a world surrendering to collective stupidity, the most powerful thing you can be is a conscious, critical, and unreasonably thoughtful human being. You are one of the few still listening. Now, become one of the few who truly thinks. Thank you for thinking with me today.